I know it sounds overly dramatic, but you are literally programmed to fail in a very specific way. Let me explain. Over the last few months, I've worked with over 50 beginner gaming channels, and throughout this journey, obviously we've seen a lot of failure and mistakes, but we've also seen a lot of successes. People going from basically nothing to 1,000 subscribers in 5 weeks, or people going from hundreds of views on their channel to getting millions of views on their channel. And so the other day, I was lying in bed and a question popped into my mind. After having this opportunity to have a behind the scenes look into the journeys of so many of my talented students, what is my biggest takeaway so far? And it seemed like one of those can't sleep until you answer it questions. So after a while of lying there, I got up, I watched some dude build an underground swimming pool using nothing but twigs, and then I started to write down all of the top things I'd learned about YouTube over the course of my experience to date. And while there were many things, one of the biggest things I realized was that almost every one of my students came into this course programmed by society to view the world a certain way, and for many of them, it was the single biggest thing holding them back. Now I know this is a bit complicated, so let me share a story to illustrate this. When I was a kid, my parents were health nuts. I grew up vegetarian and I actually didn't even eat meat until I was about 13 years old. And during one part of my upbringing, my mum got super keen on raw vegan foods. And one of her favorites was the hideous zucchini spaghetti. Like literally, it's spaghetti, except instead of using strands of pasta, they use strands of grated zucchini. I mean, ugh.
What is that? Ugh, it's hideous! Oh, that's not very nice.
And I remember in particular, my youngest brother, I've got 2 brothers, my youngest one absolutely hated this zucchini spaghetti dish with the passion of 1,000 suns. But my mum didn't care. It was healthy, she liked it, and she wanted to make him like it too. So she tried different things. She put different sauces, different spices, tried preparing it different ways, tried presenting it in different ways. But even at the best of times, this hideous dish was tolerable. Because see, there's nothing inherently wrong with zucchini itself. It's healthy and some people love it, but it just wasn't for my brother. No matter what my mum did to it, no matter how she manipulated it, what she added or what she took away, it just never clicked with my brother because he wasn't a fan of the core zucchini itself. So in hindsight, my mum would have been better off giving up, taking a step back and making a completely different meal instead of trying to make zucchini spaghetti in 27 different ways. And I think this story illustrates a concept as to why so many YouTubers fail. See, society has programmed you to never give up on the thing you love. Society's programmed you to build it and they will come, to find a way at all costs. And while these values might all seem dandy on the surface, deep down, often they're slowly strangling your hopes and dreams. Because this purely black and white way of thinking leads to failure more often than success. And here's what I mean by that. See, I'm willing to bet that most of you watching this right now are creating videos you love, and you're trying to find a way to get other people to watch this content and to force the algorithm to promote these videos that you want to make. But sometimes that can be the wrong way to go about things. See, that's kind of like my mum trying to find a way to get her new favorite dish, zucchini spaghetti, to be a hit, when in reality, anyone with more than 3 taste buds would rather stick bicycle spokes in their eyes than eat it. See, if people just aren't a big fan of zucchini, it doesn't matter how you're going to manipulate this dish, they're still probably going to hate it. And so to bring this back to YouTube, sure, you can have a good niche and good video ideas, but if your titles and thumbnails are terrible, you're not going to succeed, and everyone knows that. But most of us don't think about the other side of that equation, because if your core video ideas themselves don't click with the type of people who are in your niche, no amount of manipulation, no fancy titles, no fancy thumbnails, no editing techniques, no keyword research is going to make them succeed. See, it's not about trying to get viewers in the algorithm to like your videos. It's about trying to make videos that viewers in the algorithm will like. And bonus points if you enjoy making those videos too. Because especially if you've been doing this for a while, it's possible that your content might actually be quite good, but it's still failing epically because there's just not enough people wanting to watch that type of content, or they've got an alternative type of content that would rather watch over yours. And so here's what you need to do about that. If you've been working really hard and properly applying all the tips and techniques and creating great videos and grinding away, I feel you. But if you've been beating your head against this brick wall for some amount of time and it's still not working, then you might need to shift your mindset. YouTube's not about setting your sights on a certain type of content and then working really hard and applying all the tips and tricks and forcing people to like that content and tricking the algorithm into promoting this type of video. It's not about making zucchini spaghetti so good that your diners will tolerate it. Rather, it's about finding something that both you and your diners will love. It's about experimenting and trying to find and make content that people will actually want to watch. And that'll send positive signals to the algorithm, which will lead to the algorithm promoting you more too. And a big part of getting this right comes down to supply and demand. And that's why you should watch this video next, because in it, I go over supply and demand and how to find a niche that is actually going to work with you rather than against you.